Financing your business, launching your dream. The first thing in starting a business is you have to have enough money to fund it. And raising initial money should first of all come from close to you. There are three kinds of money to raise, and most people who are entrepreneurs think it's a later stage than it in fact is. The three forms are adventure money, venture money, and secured money raises. What does adventure mean? Well, that means you've started it, you have an idea, you're starting to do some things. It's the time in which you're starting to see customers, you're talking to suppliers, and you're starting to get orders. This is something that really stays in the adventure stage until you actually ship orders and get paid on the first round. Now, what does this mean? Well, that means that most people go out and try to raise money as venture, which we think of as venture capitalists, and also just angels and other people, before they've actually made or shipped or sold a thing. And, of course, the venture capital community has gone earlier and earlier stage. They've been trying to create businesses by putting entrepreneurs together early and putting a lot of money in it and hoping that something will come of it. That is earlier stage, but it's still an adventure. I've raised money in the venture stage from venture capitalists 4 or 5 times, but every time, and it's been in the consumer business, every time I was already selling major customers like Walmart and Kmart. We had suppliers, we had networks. In other words, we bought our waste baskets, done our office, got our first team together, created some money, and then they came in. Now, I say this to you because it's very important in raising money that you understand the stage you're at. We have this in Financing Your Business. You can read it on the CD itself. The reason it's so important is you want to be asking for money from the right people at the right stage. At the adventure stage, you really have to deal with family and friends. You're in a stage where you haven't proven a thing yet. And believe me, the difference between selling the first customer and getting paid by the first customer is a huge difference from just having the idea. So where do you start with adventure money? Well, first of all, go to your family. The best sources of money are generally older females in the family, the aunt, the mother, and a related grandmother, somebody like that, because they understand that the money is the seed of money, and this will help you get started in your career. They will be doing this out of love. They're not going to be doing this as a financial return. Now, of course, they'd like to get their money back, but they don't expect to. If you go to men in the family, they generally want to know about the business and all the rest, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to know that, but it isn't the reason you're getting the money in the adventure stage. So usually the most successful ventures start out very simply in the garage. I mean, Steve Jobs started out like that. Bill Gates started out like that. Howard Schultz at Starbucks started out like that. Dr. Wang at Wang started out like that. Generally speaking, it's better to finance your own deal early. And after you've got some success, you go to the venture stage. So that's a different stage. The last stage is secured money. Now, secured money, we're going to talk to you, is what you think of as banks and factors, leasing companies, and the rest. And we're going to talk about that. But right now, we're talking about being at the beginning. You're going to start with your family. That's the first place. You're going to deal with older female relatives. That's the second. The third is to deal with men, older men who have an interest in you. Then we come to sources close to you but not in the family. One of the best groups I've found has been peers or professionals related to me that don't know me particularly well. In other words, they know of me and so forth, so there's a little distance there. The problem is if you're too tight with people, all kinds of personal things get in. That's okay with family, but outside the family it becomes complex, and what they say in physics is an overconstrained problem. So deal with your Rolodex, and you just have to put up some trial balloons and see who will do it, and you'll find they may. Now, one in B2B, customers are used to doing this. People like Cisco are used to putting out a little dough, giving some orders, maybe advancing some money. That's a wonderful way to do it. That doesn't happen as much in the retail business when you're doing consumer, but it does happen. So you can also go to vendors. Now, this is interesting. I found that there are vendors that are progressive, and they kind of realize that if they help you in the beginning, you'll be there in the end. And that's true. As long as the entrepreneur's there, generally the vendors that started with them at least have